Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Hammy. I know, right? I'm not a cat. I have enough cat fur all over me. I could probably pass myself off as a cat. Probably been called a cat once or twice. Wildcat, cougar, something like that. I just wanted to check in with y'all and um, thank you so much for all the love and support towards these little kittens. They're just doing fabulous. I've been posting quite a bit about them because honestly, right now, they're the most interesting thing that's going on in my life. Um, haven't been doing much outside between the heat and the bugs, and then we got Finn, the dog, right? So, you can only film so much without like trying to hang on to him, and he does require some serious hanging on to because he's very rambunctious and he's squirrel and I'm gone and or Mr. Moon could get dragged down the driveway for not paying attention, right? Caught up in his lead. So we've been concentrating on that. My chickens, I still got some chickens. I still got my goat. Didn't really. I started gardening this year, and then just it just got too hot. Everything died. Oh well, that is what it is. But I realized from a friend that everything that's growing wild in my front yard is actually edible. So that's okay. We've got all kinds of wild garden out there, if you will. So I haven't really been playing guitar either. Nails are kind of long. So yeah, it's just been basically being nursemaid to Mama Arya while she's been taking care of her babies. It took a lot out of her. She's a very tiny cat, and she originally gave birth to six, but Meadow didn't make it. So Meadow was buried in my little pet cemetery out there. She has a white rose bush to mark her place, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't do anything, so, and I did try, but sometimes that happens. But we got blessed with, I'm looking at them now. We got blessed with five beautiful babies. There's, the girls are Madden and Maggie, right? So for short, it's Maddie, because she hollers. She's the first one to come out. She just started hollering. It's like, oh, you're just a sassy little one, aren't you? And then Maggie, she's got like the coloring of the, I don't know, to me she looked like a little magnolia flower when her little ears popped out and just that little button nose in the middle. So it's Maddie and Maggie. And the boys are Moshi and Ralph. He's my favorite. And then Moose. I did not check him properly, so for the first 3 weeks of his life, I was calling him Mrs. Hippie. But turns out Mrs. Hippie is actually Mr. Moose. So yeah, he's a good sized boy. So yeah, they're all doing really well. I just want to do a shout out to my friends in my community in my neighborhood. The ones that you don't have to be subscribed to the channel to watch the videos, but if you're in my local area and you are interested in adopting a kitten, this is sorry folks, but this is like for my friends that watch that I know personally. Then just reach out to me and I'll make sure that you get one of the kittens. I'm not charging any adoption fee or anything. I just want them to have good homes with people I know. So, and this will be my last batch of kittens because after the babies are done nursing and they're not on her anymore, she has an appointment if I can keep her in before she sneaks out. That's how it happened last time. She snuck out, but I have an appointment to have her spayed. So that's what the original intention was. She had her appointment before that happened because she was like kind of peeing on my leg when she'd walk by. She'd walk by, shake her tail, and pee would come out, and they said, you need to get her spayed. So we had a big power outage. We had to run the generator and a bunch of heavy duty cords, and somehow she managed to wiggle her skinny little body, because she's tiny, out between the screen door where the cords were, and bam, she come home with presents. So that won't happen again. So if you do have pets, make sure you get them spayed or neutered, because if it can happen to me, I've had cats for, over 35 years. And in all my lifetime, this is the third cat in 35 years that ever got out and got pregnant. So I think my track record's pretty good because I've rescued a lot of cats. All right. And if you want your own starter pack, well, just get yourself a pregnant cat. Then you have a whole 6 pack of cats. Get you started. Yep. But it does get expensive to spay them and neuter them. So That's why I don't usually, take in more than one at a time until I can raise the money to have that done. And so, anyways, but yeah, if you guys are, like Kelly and Rick and Carol and you know who you are, right? Everybody knows who you are. Yeah, if you want to just give me a shout out or something, I'm sure we can work something out because I don't want to take them to the shelter. I know they could get adopted out at the shelter, but I think I might have to, even though it's not something I want to do. But I just I prefer to know who they are and know the people that are gonna give them a good home. I don't know. Maybe that's grandma. Okay, I got too much grandma syndrome going on. Who knows? But anyways, that's where we're at today. So it's raining out. Everybody's inside. Cats are happy. I'm tired. I'm just beat, but that's just the way it is. I haven't been doing, like I say, too much around here. Just kind of puttering with that heat wave that we had. Oh, well, I should have took a video. I brought up a frozen loaf of bread. Okay. And the kittens were all under the other coffee table. It has like a bench on it. So I set this frozen loaf of bread there because I knew it wouldn't be too cold, but it would be cool, right? Well, the bread finally thawed, and they were playing around it. They weren't doing it, not hurting them or anything, right? Still in the bag. I came in later, and here's one of the kittens stretched out on that loaf of bread, right on the bag. It must have just been still frozen in the middle a little bit. He stretched right out on that loaf of bread like he was in a beanbag chair. He got his feet up in the air, belly up, just laying there. Ah. It was too funny. Flat on his back, just I like it. But I didn't get a picture of it. I was charging my tablet, never even thought about, taking a picture of it, right? But it was just adorable. But everybody pulled through the heat wave because it is hot up here. It's very, like in the wintertime, it gets very cold up here. And in the summertime, it gets very hot. It's this big sliding glass door, and there's nothing to block the sun from hitting it directly from about 2 o'clock until about 6 o'clock. So tends to get warm up here. But anyways, they're all doing good. You saw them playing. I do want to run the vacuum, but they are absolutely terrified of it. Just terrified of it. Even if I put them in the bathroom, you can hear them in there freaking out of that noise. So I've been trying to do it with a carpet sweeper. Yeah, it's hard to pick up kitty litter and little dry bits of cat food with the carpet sweeper, but we do the best we can with what we got, right? So, all right. Well, I hope y'all have a fabulous day. I missed yous. Like I said, I haven't been on much. I've just been busy. Life gets busy. And babies make life really busy. And if anybody says that babies aren't messy, they're full of it. Because babies are messy. Even one the size of a chipmunk. All right. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I shall see you soon. I promise. I'll be back. The fall and the winter's coming. And that's my favorite time of year. So I do lots of stuff then. I have lots of fun. Okay. We shall talk to you all later. And just remember, I know you're like, don't say fall and winter. Well, here's the upside. There's no bugs. No bugs. All right, we'll talk to you all later. Have a fabulous day. Keep your moonshine on. All right. Bye.